Christine Mallett. We're going to have her come on. Are you guys ready for this lady? Are you ready? Are you ready for Judgy Judge? Sorry, I'm getting all excited now because Judgy Judge is coming. Okay, let me put her in. I was going to like play some rock music. Can I play some rock music for you? What's your favorite song, Christine?
I love me some Tom Petty.
Tom Petty!
Yes.
Oh, I cannot take off this disclaimer now because you are an attorney.
But I am not giving legal advice.
No, you're not. But you have to still be careful because you're being watched just like I am.
Oh, you better believe I'm being watched. Yeah. It's getting out of control, actually.
It is. I need to turn off my light. Give me 1 second. Go ahead and announce yourself while I go turn off this yellow light on my face so that people can know where to follow you, what handles and all that. Give me 1 second.
Judgy, we are creating an app. It will be an app soon. Right now, it is a website. It is judge-y.com. We are going to be a directory for judges. I'm an attorney. I was a public defender and then criminal attorney. 15 years, never had a bar complaint, and started talking about the problems in family court about 2 years ago. 6 weeks ago, there's something on my computer. Teamed up with Hugh Barrow, who is also a former divorce attorney, and we have the JudgeMental podcast. We talk about the problems in family court in Louisville, like everyone else. And I know this was naive, but we really thought it was a Louisville problem. I'm in Orange County right now, and I'll tell you, Meg, I've never seen anything like it.
Yes, and I don't know if you guys know, we were both on the Love Doc podcast, and that's how we met. And we still love Dr. Sarah. She's a sweet girl. Yes. We still on a little chat group. We have our own little thing. And that was a wonderful experience to meet Christine. And she looked over my divorce decree. And she's a wonderful speaker. And her heart is pure. And I love her. And please go follow her. She even has a billboard up of her. She's so gorgeous in the billboard. I love the billboard. Still blown away by that. Okay, so tell me about your Judgy Judge.
So Judgy will be an app. Hopefully we'll launch here soon, but we are gathering. As you know, I've been in this space for almost 2 years, but Hugh is so new to it. And he really wish, and that's my partner with Judgy and the JudgeMental podcast. We've gotten thousands and thousands of messages, and we're just really trying to figure out where to put them all and look for patterns. But Judgy is going to be an app and a directory. It will allow attorneys verified to review on the back end anonymously, so attorneys can tell the truth. But more importantly, litigants can review, and then court watchers. And that way, when you go in front of a judge, you'll be able to know, hey, this is how this judge rules. This is what's going on. And just try to create a community where we can be separate from it, and the people that are in front of these judges can get together and talk about what that judge is doing, good, bad, and different.
Have you looked at the Francesca bill at all?
I have. Yeah, I have. I've looked at it, and it's like, this is the hardest part about being in this space. And as you know, like I'm in Orange County right now talking to a ton of survivors.
We're going to talk about that. I want to hear about that too. Yes,
yeah.
Ahead, sorry.
No, a ton of survivors in family court. And it's, it's a difficult space for me because the whole thing I'm trying to say is that I'm not qualified to make these decisions. Like, I'm not qualified to tell people how to live their lives. I'm not a therapist. And so you get this trauma dump, and I'm not complaining about it because obviously I'm not a victim of family court in the same way that litigants are at all. But the only thing I know, back to her bill, is how to fix this is to do it through the legislature and to have these judges hold the judges accountable. Make sure they're working full time. Make sure they're following the law. Stop immediately with these nonsense bullshit. I hope it's okay that I cursed. Custodial evaluators, GALs, FOCs, court-ordered therapy. It's nonsense. It is nonsense.
Mm-hmm. It is. And that's why, like, right now, if everyone's like wants to learn to pro se, I go, yeah, you can learn to be pro se, but nothing's happening right now because the judges can rule everything. There's no immunity. They get to do whatever they want, no accountability, no one auditing them. And when I met Christine, she was the one that taught. Tell us about how family court started in Kentucky. Weren't you guys the very first ones to start family court?
Well, we weren't the actual first ones, but we are the national model for a lot of places. Okay. We were the first ones to really get big, and we have the one court, one family model, which I know you just said your favorite quote, which I absolutely love, about the government should fear its people. My favorite quote is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And I do think that, I struggle in this space sometimes because there are a lot of nefarious players, but it's not everyone. There's just a lot of complacency, and there's a lot of keeping the system going. Like, it's people that, and there's no accountability. Like the fact that you say there's no jury trials, there's no and you being pro se, people that are pro se, they're up against their exes or significant other or the father or mother of their child's attorney, but there's also custodial evaluators with immunity, GALs with immunity, FOCs with immunity, and I could go on and on. It's wild.
And then, like in my situation,
but I do love her bill.
Go ahead. What?
Mm-hmm. No, I was gonna say I do love her bill.
Oh yeah,
I love her bill. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. A lot of people are like, well, I won't what happened, won't work. I like it, but it's not going to work. And, here's my opinion on it. It might not go through, right? But that doesn't mean we can't try. Are we just going to sit back? Mm-hmm. I mean, just like women's rights, we had to fight for that. We can't just sit back and expect it. And so, yeah, maybe it won't go through this time, but it will go through because we're getting louder and people are getting mad. And what I was going to say was, it's funny when I went and looked at my state laws about the GAL, there's no requirements in these. They literally said the GAL is allowed to do pretty much whatever he wants. Right?
No worries. No, but you said there's no requirements in your state for a GAL?
Yeah, there's no like, well, you have to do this by this. You have to decide this by this. You have to do this. There's nothing besides just do what's good for the kids.
Right. And no one ever asked the question. So like everything in family court is always going to come back to this best interest of the child. And what best interest of the child is defined in Kentucky is going to be different than Missouri, different than Kansas, different than California, but essentially the same thing, right? But no one ever asked the question, is family court in the best interest of children? Because it ain't.
Right. Mm-mm.
I mean, we are destroying families. I was telling this story yesterday, years of criminal experience, represented people charged with crimes, heinous crimes. I have so many positive stories from my experience as a public defender where people got clean, they got sober, they got better, they got their kids back, like they got treatment. I can't think of one positive story from family court in 10 years where the system worked. Not one. Mm-hmm.
And I think that is what I love that you're exposing it, because this is not a personal thing for you, right? So you're very level-headed. You're not this, mom that like could be like me that's just blah. No, it's like you're getting solid facts. It's funny, we've been doing a few stats on some of my forums. I should read some to you. While I go get those, can you talk about the rally today and what's it like being? So she lives in Kentucky, but she got to go all the way to, where are you? And where are you? Orange County. I don't know California that well. I've only been since I was a kid.
Orange County.
So she went and got to go to the rally today. Will you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just wild to be down here in California, and I don't want to, I want to be very careful because I'm not trying. I understand I'm an attorney. I'm not trying to step on anyone else's space. I just want to see what happens. And the thing that's so shocking to me is the fact that y'all don't have, or California does not have cameras in the courtroom. I don't think you have cameras in the courtroom.
Something else I wanted to talk about. You were the first person that told me that there were cameras in Kentucky, and I was like, that's not happening in Missouri or Kansas. And that is on the bill. Yes, you're right. So they don't have it at all in the county.
Yeah. And I didn't know literally until I stepped into the space and started talking about the problems that I thought were central to Louisville. I didn't realize other places didn't have it. And like Hugh is, my partner, and he's coming from like behind in the sense of like getting involved in this advocacy. He was unaware there weren't cameras in courtrooms, but I've never seen these stories. It makes it so hard for us to verify. And I think it's by design because we can't like in Kentucky, I can go get the report, or not the report, the recording. Right. And so you can see in real time. And if you follow me on TikTok, Kentucky Christine, I show what's happening. And California is the second largest state that our podcast is downloaded in, because I think of the crisis that is no cameras in courtrooms and no court reporters. But Meg, I'll tell you, this courthouse I went to in Orange County, we are in Orange County, right? Like life of luxury. This courthouse was basically empty. The only thing, the biggest crisis, did you know the biggest crisis facing Californians, according to this courthouse, is the fact that that people shouldn't record anything in a court. There are signs everywhere, no recordings, no live streaming. You'll be arrested. I mean, this is against penal code. It's just like, it was basically like going to Cambodia. Like, in what world in the United States do we not have transparency within the third group?
I know. No, I agree with you. And I think that's what, if you go first off, and before I forget this, Kristen makes the best videos. I love her content. She's hilarious. I love her accent. So you guys gotta go follow her. But one thing that, one of the videos I just posted was a mom was yesterday in her car and she was at the protest and no one was there, right? But she had her signs. And she was like, well, I'm actually right. The court's right here. And I was like, she's like, but I'm scared to get out. And I'm like, get out of the car. We're all here. And I'm like, we have like 50 people on TikTok. We got this. We're all with you. And I just start crying because it breaks my heart that we're in a situation where we are scared to stand in front of the same court system that we are paying for. What?
Mm-hmm.
And
and you better believe they'll retaliate against you. I mean, they've retaliated against me as an attorney for speaking out.
And that's what, it makes me sick to the sense. So, okay, one thing I was trying to pull it up and I finally found it. So we have only 139 people have. So if you guys want to go to the forum, we have this forum, it's an intake form. I need to know, Steph, I need to put that on my website. But it's pretty much just an intake form. First touch, we want to know. You go to my website, but we've got 139 people filled out this form. I don't know where it's at, guys. Sorry. But we have this graph and it says, how many years have you been involved in family court? 46% is 5+ years.
Mm-hmm.
And then, do you currently have custody of your children? Out of 138 responses, 50% say no. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
How many children are attached to one person? Let's just say 2 kids, maybe the average, how many kids is that? Because it's insane to me. Are you pro se? 50% are pro se. Yes. Have you ever had an attorney in your case? Yeah, of course. Everyone, almost 71% had an attorney. And then the other ones were like, in the past, but not now, blah, blah, blah. But the stats that we accidentally got, my team made this and sent it out and I didn't even know it, as like, oh my gosh, this is insane. And I think that is one thing that you are trying to expose, all of that.
Yes.
Correct?
Absolutely. At least when I practiced criminal law, there was finality. Like you could do even if you pled guilty, you could do your time and it would be over. But you see, and if you watch my podcast with Matt Grant, and I think he was on your show yesterday or the day before, but it's just constantly moving the carrot and these people are getting trapped up in this system and they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars into all these idiots. I mean, for lack of a better term, these custodial evaluators, it's complete and utter bullshit. And they're bankrupting families. And then you have attorneys and, I don't have, as you know, I don't have children, but you have all these GALs that don't have kids that are living vicariously through other people's children, simultaneously depleting their down payment on a house, a college education, etc. And it's just make it make sense.
Right. Exactly. I love your mic, by the way. I want one. Where'd you get that? That's cool. I don't have any money right now, but when I hopefully get some money one day, I'm making a mic like that. That's cool.
Oh my gosh, you made this. He 3D printed it? Yeah.
Oh, he did. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he's so handy.
Okay. That is so cool. Okay, I was going to see. There was something else I'm talking about. My brain is mush, like completely flat out mush.
Oh, no, I bet.
I had this great thing I was going to talk to you about when you're talking about that and it just went out of my brain. I need to eat. I need to get off. So what is so are you just having on, so people need to go follow her, go watch her stuff. She actually walks and goes to the courthouse during the day to see actually how many judges are working. That was genius.
Yes.
Loved it. Loved that.
Oh, judicial roll call. Yeah. And someone needs to do that in Orange County because this courthouse was essentially empty.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. When you were talking about all the cameras and all the signs and all this, we had a woman last week, go and had she had a link on an event. She made an event on Facebook. She goes there with some people went with her and they wouldn't let anyone in the courtroom with her during her hearing at all. She would be by herself and she was pro se. And then the cop was threatening to arrest the people that were taking pictures in the hallway in Florida. And it's like, what is the deal? And it's in, I'm just.
Yeah. It's almost like, this has been really kind of pivotal for me being out here because I don't know any of the players. Like in Louisville, when I go to the courthouse that I practiced in for a decade, the bailiffs are like, what's up? And I mean, I have a lot of friends there and most of the attorneys are supportive. But then when I read these bills from attorneys here, when I saw the attorneys, when I saw the judges, when I see what's happening to moms and dads, it's like, I mean, it's wrong on so many levels. And it's really, really bad here. I need to come where you are and just go walk into court. Because you can tell too that these judges are very weak in the sense is like far as a litigator, like this judge that came out in Orange County, like she was probably like 32 and she just like couldn't hardly speak, but they made me like announce who I was. And it was just like,
I have been talking to a lot of attorneys because my federal lawsuit, because, everyone's lawyered up with multiple attorneys. And when they email me or talk, I'm just like, dude, you don't even know. That's not even true. That's a complete lie. And I sent him right back the info, the statutes. But yeah, that's what's happening. They're scared because they know that they don't really do what they're supposed to be doing. And when they realize we're learning our rights, they're like, oh, crud.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're terrified of accountability, terrified of it.
Yes. And when I went to, it's funny because I'm in court and everywhere I feel like, but when I had my lawsuit against the people that are bashing me in Missouri, it's a civil right lawsuit. And there's no you can have your phone on. Like there was no, and I think that's what people don't realize. They just think it's normal to walk in and make your phone pull away. I know that the court I'm in Missouri, you can't even take a cell phone in. I had trial a month ago, and one of my friends that came with me accidentally had a cell phone in she was carrying one of my bags because I had all these, files. And she accidentally left her phone in my bag. And then literally they came over, and by the way, I had to beg and plead to have a laptop or a cell phone in my hearing. But they came over to me, they're like, you have 3 phones. I said, no, I don't. Here's my 2 right here. Well, no, I don't. And finally my girlfriend's, oh no, I think I left. That's how bad it was. My friend thought she was going to go to jail because she accidentally had a phone in there that she forgot it was in there. It's insane.
It's insane. And today I went, because I'm technically media, so I went to go do a media request to see if I could see what's happening in these courts or record. And they sent me all around the courthouse. They made me wait outside. They gave me like a Post-it note with a phone number on it, literally like a developing country. And it's like, and they were just traumatized that I was even asking. And like, that's the other thing. Like when I was practicing criminal, the media would be there all the time. I mean, not all the time, but regularly. And no one cared. It's just, you shouldn't be afraid, especially as a litigator. You shouldn't be afraid, or a judge in particular that in Kentucky runs for the damn job, of the media. Like, It's just crazy for me. But I don't know where to go in this space because I know a lot of lawyers aren't trusted. And I listened to a lawyer yesterday talk to somebody and I'm like, well, you son of a bitch are the reason that no one likes us. And so it's like a hard dichotomy for me to be in, is like, how can I help the movement? But also like, I'm not a therapist. So the trauma dumping, it's like, I don't know what, you know what I mean? I'm a lawyer.
Well, and I think that is what is hard because, I'm not a therapist either. And that's why I'm always like, okay, where are you at? Meaning, have you learned this? Have you went and studied this? Because I don't teach anyone to do anything. I just said, have you found your state statutes? That's all I have to do because, people want to though, right? And it is, where is your space? But I think you have to realize as well, girl, is that just like doctors, every doctor has a different opinion.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. And so you have to realize that because there's going to be bad attorneys that speak up and give advice. There's times where we have people on our shows or podcasts that all of a sudden all these lies come out about them. That happened this morning. I got a phone call and I'm like, you know what is my goal here? My goal is to get our children rights back, our parents' rights back, period. And I think that's your heart ultimately.
Absolutely. And just to be clear, like there are people that deserve to lose their children, just like there are people that deserve to go to prison. But from my perspective, how I was raised, what I fundamentally believe in is that a court of law has got to comply with due process. And I'll tell you right now, it's like due process is like speaking French to these people. They are not complying with that and they are almost terrified of it, which is what makes me think that there is more nefarious intentions behind what's happening, because notice and opportunity to be heard and impartial decider isn't radical. I mean, that is 1776 shit, frankly. Sorry. I'm in a mood. I mean, I am in a mood because it's like, it's so bizarre to just have it just like coming, you know what I mean? And all these
since you went today and you saw there, you going there and being around people that have lost it is sad, is hard, like emotionally, So I don't know if I told you this, but and maybe I have, but we are really working hard to get it to go to DC the third week of October. My prayer, we found a hotel that we could give us all discounted. My prayer is we could all raise enough money where all of us can go and be. They said that the whole conference room, they'd opened it up. And I'd love for you to speak there and just talk about Judgy Judge. I want to drive there and write on my windows and drive by Kentucky and say hey to you, you know. And I want all of us just to go, and it'd be like a time where we all can meet. We can all see it. Because in my opinion is, why aren't there support groups for this? There's support groups for AA, right? Support groups for if you lose your child. I mean, but there's nothing for this. And it's the biggest thing that affects us as our families right now ever.
It's going to be bigger than BLM, and it's percolating. It's percolating. Like, you can feel it. It's starting to affect everyone, regardless of socioeconomic status, race, religion, gender. It is affecting all avenues, and people are sick of it. And I'll tell you, I know a lot of the judges and GALs and FOCs, and, you know, and they're not the brightest crowns in the coloring box. And that's why they're so scared. You know, a criminal attorney isn't scared of the media coming in and watching. They don't give a shit. Like, I mean, and so you've got to realize
they're following the law. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're checking their boxes. They're doing the evidence. They're, you know, doing this, but family courts aren't.
Yeah. And they're confident in who they are, what they do, and the system. And I just think that, you know, family court attorneys in particular, and family court judges are typically failed lawyers, right? And I'll say that all day. I'll say it to our judges. We have some good ones, but I really think everybody just stay in there in 6 months. I think everything is really percolating. And just remember, like, you aren't crazy. The system is. That's the biggest takeaway I can tell anybody.
It is. Well, thank you for coming on again, everyone. Please go follow her. She is fun to watch. She's her accent, like you just said, this cute little accent, like this little slang. I love what she says. She just I just can laugh all the time. Hi.
All right, well, it was so good to see you. I'll let her jump on. You good?